You are now tuned into My Skin is My Sin on Blog Talk Radio. From goons to guys, we welcome everyone. We only have one rule, and that's be respectful. You are now tuned into My Skin is My Sin on Blog Talk Radio. Goons to guys, we welcome everyone. We only have one rule, and that's be respectful.
Holla at us next week, man.
No doubt, man, and definitely shout out to the family, liberationmindedmedia.net. That is Black Eye Stand, Do the Knowledge Radio, The Rundown with Renee, and My Skin is My Sin. Oh, and don't forget to share the show, man. If you check it out today, or if you check it out next week, or if you check it out in 1,000 years, and if you are that motherfucker that digs yourself in 1,000 years, you are the most phenomenal individual to ever walk the galaxy for digging up this great.
True as you and me, there's a mayor on every block, singing the dramatics and playing with Ready Rock. Usually it seems like he waiting to catch a drop. You clinging to his habits, he's saving you from a spot. Round the way work, jewels in the ground, hit the pay dirt. Love is love, you in good hands. Dennis Haysbert, openly protected by who you be neck and neck with. So you looking over like, look at what they done made.
And you are now tuned into another episode of My Skin is My Sin presents Intellectually Petty Radio. Let me get Kwamelvin Brown in the building.
Yeah, say it right, nigga.
What's up, bro?
What's happening, bro?
Shit, chilling. We should have Skyzoo in the building shortly.
Yeah, it's gonna be a goodie, man.
Well, I always worry that people
listen, bro.
Other shit to do. Can you hear me okay though?
Yeah. Oh yeah, all right.
Okay. All right, man.
How's that?
Yo, you did good.
Good. All right. Yeah, man. Like, Kwame Brown's that dude, bro. I might go buy his jersey, yo. I might go buy his last jersey or something, bro. I ain't gonna hold you.
What did he do this time?
Through like the controversial shit, bro. Like he drops a lot of jewels, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, niggas, like I ain't gonna call him a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like the brother got he's very strong minded. He's strong headed. You know what I'm saying? You can see the growth. And you can hear the growth when he speaks. You know what I'm saying? So like I admire dudes like that. Like I ain't gonna see eye to eye with everything that he say, but I got a lot of respect for the things that he's saying and how he giving it up. Like I respect that.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all.
Yeah, I totally respect that. So like people won't be like, oh, he's a coon, you know what I mean? Like I even joke, you know what I'm saying? It was like, like he one of them niggas who tuck his shirt in his pants. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Like I say that to say though, like he sound like somebody uncle, bro.
Yeah, he do.
You know what I'm saying? Like he sound like he sound like somebody uncle for real. So it's like you respect it if it's real. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely respect most of what I've heard.
Yeah.
And again, like nobody's perfect. I'm not going to agree with everything anybody says, but got some valid points, and it's I think it's cathartic for him that he finally getting the ability to share his side of the story.
Mm-hmm.
And people actually listen. We've been dismissive of him for 25 years, I guess it's been.
Yeah.
Through no fault of his own, apparently. He kind of got a raw deal from a raw deal is subjective.
I mean,
you
like,
are rich and shit.
Yeah, but like even through that, like niggas with money go through shit too, bro. Like the money don't solve everything. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what people misconstrue. Like you still gotta live real life. Like niggas still got issues with their family. You know what I'm saying? And all types. You know what I mean?
Although I would love to go through those issues rich as opposed to broke.
I feel you, but like the money don't the money don't heal that.
The money cushions the blow.
You wildin'.
It does. Like if you're
Okay.
broke, you don't have access to the same health care or the same mental health care that someone who's got some money does. You just
Yo,
don't.
all of that's true, but it don't hurt no less. Like trauma is trauma, bro. Like the same trauma you go through broke can be the same trauma you go through rich.
Now that I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
It's just what I'm saying is we kind of saying the same thing. Like I agree that the trauma is equitable, but the ability to get
handle it.
help, yeah,
That
to
depends on
handle the
that
trauma.
depends on the individual. Like it's not even necessarily. I get what you're saying, but like even if you broke, like you can go see therapy through the state. You can go get a therapist. You know what I'm saying? Like you can go still get mental health.
It is not the same, bro. Trust me.
It's not the same. It's not the same, but still, like that's an individual thing. Like
Yeah.
like how many stories you heard of people with money, yo, and they just can't get their shit together. It don't matter. Like think about that. And you
I
got a
mean,
lot
yeah,
of you got a lot of everyday people, yo, who can't afford that same type of mental health care, and they functioning within a struggle. You know what I'm saying? Of just real life. They live paycheck to paycheck, and they bipolar, or they suffer from depression. You know what I'm saying? Or they got anxiety. Like it's everyday people dealing with that shit. So like that's
true,
managing.
true. And Skyzoo just emailed me, said he'd be on in about 5 minutes, so
Cool.
we should be good with that. Shout
Yo,
out to Young Elder Truth Seeker in YouTube on YouTube. Keep saying in YouTube.
yeah, yo, it's crazy. It's crazy how this shit manifested, bro. But like that's what make us. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yo, your man's got a ridiculous ass fucking catalog.
I know, I know,
Like I yeah, like
I know.
I'll openly admit you definitely put me up on Skyzoo.
Mm-hmm.
Like the pen game, like dude is
Mm-hmm.
money.
Incredible, yo.
Yeah,
Incredible.
and low key might have actually been one of the first people to fucking with Griselda.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Like him, 38 Special. Damn, what's my man name? Green Eye Double. What's my man name? I can't think of his name right off the break. He fuck with he fuck with Special them too though. But like, yo, all them niggas, yo, like all them niggas is nice, yo. Like New York had a huge like emergence of dudes who like taking it back to the like pay their homage to the essence. You know what I'm saying? But still having original sound. You know what I'm saying? To separate themselves. Like it's like they introduced a whole new era. Like it's incredible, yo. I love rap right now.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Man, that joint that the city he got with Apollo Brown though was like fucking
That joint's incredible, yo. Milestone is
man,
incredible.
fucking
Um,
mind blowing shit right there, bro.
yeah. Retropolitan is incredible, yo. Fucking Eastern Conference All Stars, yo. And like, and it's, bro, like,
Yo, have you heard of this motherfucker called B-Boy Stance?
yeah, that joint's fire.
Oh my god, bro, that might be one of the best verses I've ever heard. On
Just
that
want to
joint.
join you tag me in.
Yes,
Yo, that joint's crazy. That joint was
yes,
crazy.
like your man's like for that verse, I didn't get further into his catalog, and I will though. But that freaking verse, oh my god, it's bananas.
Yeah, yeah, that joint was fire though. Like, nah, he was spitting. Like he killed he killed that beat. He
Oh
definitely
yeah,
he,
yeah,
he killed that beat. Oh, he did that.
yeah. But you could tell, like in that one, I think each person uh, picked their own beats, just a guess. But
Okay.
I, I'm only getting that because every beat was different. So my guess is they picked them, or somebody picked them, for their particular kind of lane.
Yo, niggas lucky I can't rap, yo. I swear to God, yo.
I mean, but you would just be an okay rapper, bro.
Bro.
It doesn't mean you'll be dope at it.
Nah. If I rap, I'll be fire.
I don't know. You might be. You might be.
I'll be fire.
I can't say. You wouldn't be Drake though. Shout out to Drake for winning Artist of the Decade.
Yo, they go with that Drake. Yo, don't listen. We not talking music no more, yo. Like I don't. You like you already admitted like I put you on shit like already on cam today, bro. Like I
Yeah,
actually
to one person.
we got Skyzoo coming up. No, bro. I put you on Griselda. I put you on Skyzoo. I put you on Mad Niggas, bro. Like
Okay,
don't
no, bro. I'm admitting to Skyzoo and that's it, bro. Not
yo.
admitting to
So
Skyzoo.
I didn't put you on yo
No.
Griselda. Yo, you was a lie. You was a lie, bro. You was a
No,
lie,
man. The
man.
whole world knew about Griselda.
No,
I didn't
I
need
put
your
you,
help.
no, the whole world except you. Like, stop, yo. Stop it. I put you on
I didn't
Griselda.
need your help with that, bro. I'm good.
Yo,
But
you
you
such
did.
a
You
yo.
hey,
You going
you
yo,
put me up.
stop
Hey,
yo,
salute to
stop
you.
coming on air capping, yo.
Salute
Stop.
to you. You put me on with Skyzoo. And I will forever be grateful. And
Yo,
speaking of, hold on, bro, because we got the legend in the building right now, man. We got man,
yeah.
y'all gotta step y'all
You gotta
soul
stop. You
and
gotta
y'all
stop.
listening game up, man. And let's get Skyzoo in the building, man. How you doing, King?
Peace, peace. Can y'all hear me?
We can definitely hear
Peace,
you. We
peace.
just can't see you.
Uh-oh. Let me see how to fix that. I forgot I had that thing on. There we go. Boom, boom.
Oh, you ain't
Peace,
had to
peace.
stone us with the jersey though.
Oh man, it's just the basement, man. It's just a man cave. I got a ton of them wrapped around the wall. They all tagged up and all that. What's going on, fellas?
All right,
What's
man.
good, fam? How you doing, man? My name is Jobs, and that's my co-host, The Plug.
Peace,
Peace,
peace.
peace. Good to link with y'all, brothers.
Already, man. Now we
Man,
appreciate you.
we got
Yeah,
Skyzoo in the building. And I know we only got about 40, 45 minutes, man. So how is life and how's your family doing?
Oh, everything is good, man. You know, the family's good. You know, we just staying safe and COVID free, thank God. You know what I mean? Just trying to, just do things the right way and enjoy one another at the same time. Everything is smooth though.
That's dope. That's dope, man.
Yeah. Hope your brothers is good as well.
Yeah, all is well. All
Doing
is well.
great, man. I was complimenting my co-host for introducing me to Skyzoo.
Okay.
I am officially a Skyzoo fan at this point.
Oh man, thank you, man. Thank you. Welcome to the team.
Oh my God, bro. You got some shit out there. The shit with Apollo Brown, though, bro.
Yeah.
Man, that's
Thank you.
some Miles Davis-ish.
Well, it's amazing that you said that, man. I'm honored because Miles Davis is one of my idols and one of my musical heroes, and I actually named my son Miles after Miles Davis. So for you to say that means a ton to me, because that's one of the guys I look up to, aspire to. I have every vinyl he ever put out. That's my guy right there. So I named my son after him. So yeah.
Fire.
That's dope. That's very dope.
Yo.
Go ahead, Ron.
Yo, Milestone. I want to thank you for creating Milestone, bro.
Oh man, thank you, brother. Thank you for listening.
Yo, oh my God, bro. Like I said that shit to so many people, bro. Like when I heard that, yo.
Wow, that's real.
Nah, it's real, yo. Like it touched, like yo, turning 10, bro. Like that shit, like touched my heart, G. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and the way you narrated it
was
genius, man. Cause like, yo, everybody clown Trey. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But having a pop, yo. You know what I'm saying? Because he had somebody giving him game, yo. Like the way you crafted that was incredible, bro. Like I thank you for that.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, the thing about that record, when I was a kid, I think I was 9. I was 9 when Boys in the Hood came out, and I remember my pops taking me to the movies to see it. My pops always had this thing growing up where we would go to the movies and he would make me write sort of a book report about it without it being an actual book. Like we would go to the movies and he'd be like, I write 2-3 pages about it. And I was like 9, 10 years old. He did it with Malcolm X, did it with Boys in the Hood. Like that was just the way he raised me. And I remember we went to see Boys in the Hood, and I remember watching it and being like, yo, this is my life. You know what I mean? Like, because I was 9, Trey was 10 in the beginning of the movie. So the beginning of the movie, I was like, this is my life. You know what I mean? Like, I'm with my dad on the weekends. I'm with my moms during the week. And thought like, yo, this is my life on the screen. So, I always hold Boys in the Hood, as a special place in my heart because of that. I always felt like that was my life. And then growing up too, like when I got older and was in high school and all that, that was me as well, to an extent. I had other little things going on, but to an extent,
that was me as well. So that movie always sits real close to me. So yeah, with the record, man, I just wanted to do something for fathers. You know, I felt like fatherhood in hip hop is overlooked. You know, Nas did Daughters. Will Smith did Just the Two of Us, which is one of the dopest fatherhood hip hop records ever. You know, my man Terminology does a lot for fatherhood as far as like Good Dad Gang and all that stuff. But outside of all of that, most of the records about fatherhood in hip hop come from a negative place. It's either my father was never around, he's a sucker, or you know, I'm not the type of father to my children that I want to be, and I need to be better, or be a father to your child, and all those types of records, which is dope because if that's your reality, then that's real and that needs to be expressed. But that's not the only reality in hip hop. It can't be.
Right.
Same way there's a million records about mothers who are amazing in hip hop. That's not the only reality. There's some mothers out here who are trash in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're a hip hop fan or listener, it's just what it is because there's a pro and a con. There's a yin and a yang. There's an up and a down. So, you know, with fatherhood in hip hop, I just felt like it was always getting overlooked. And I wanted to change that narrative a little bit. Me being a father, I was able to do it firsthand and speak from experience.
No, you did it incredibly, bro. And then like you just rapping at it like it's such an elite level, man. Like,
thank you,
bro. Like,
oh my God,
like, that joint, your milestone joint and Stick Man Manhood album, bro. Like that's it, like the vibes of it. But I just like the way you approach like the entire narrative. I love it.
Thank you, man. Yeah, that was a special joint for me, man, because it was an idea I had. It came with one record. The first record I did for it was a Song for Fathers, and I was just gonna do just that. Like I always had, you know, I always wanted to flip that record because being a jazz head, I love Horace Silver, and you know, I always wanted to flip that record. I was like, yo, there's never been anybody who touched this. You know, I want to touch this and make a hip hop version. There's a lot of jazz versions. Gregory Porter did a version. Dee Dee Bridgewater. There's a lot of jazz versions of that record, but there wasn't any hip hop version. I wanted to flip that, and it was only going to be that. And then when I did it, I was listening back to it like, yo, this shit came out nuts, man. Like this shit came out exactly the way the vision I had. I said, nah, I think I got like 5 or 6 more of me. You know, I think I got 5 or 6 more of these in me, man. Let me take some time, put aside and bang out. And that's what I did.
Yo, incredible, bro.
Thank you.
Incredible.
Hey, let me ask you this, man. Well, I don't know if it's a question or a statement, but it's like you got a cinematic pen.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, and even when you shit talking, it's like a shit talking TV show. Was that intentional?
You know what? I think it is by default because of the guys I grew up on. You know, I grew up on Biggie. I grew up a block away from Biggie. You know what I mean? So I grew up on Biggie, greatest storyteller, one of the greatest storytellers in hip hop. You know what I mean? I grew up on Nas and Jay, storytellers. You know, I grew up on The Genius. Liquid Swords is a bunch of stories. You know what I mean? Like those was the guys I looked up to. You know, Purple Tape. You know, Ray and Ghost. That's a bunch of stories. Like when I was rhyming and when I was sharpening my sword, that was what I looked to. You know, it's like if you home and you play ball or whatever, and you just watching Mike all day, or you watching Kobe all day. Like when I played ball as a kid, I watched Penny. You know, that's why Penny's right here. Like Penny was my guy. You know, he still is. You know what I mean? So. Yeah. I did everything like Penny. Like Penny came down with the left, I came down with the left. Penny rocked the wristband here, I rocked the wristband here. Whatever Penny was doing, I was doing it, you know? So it's the same thing with the music. Like when I was penning growing up, whatever those guys was doing, that's what I molded my craft after.
Last time you wrote a shitty 16?
Never. Never ever. Never ever.
Okay, so you never left the booth, and you got a shitload of features. Oh my God, man! And you was up on Griselda like way before the rest of us. Yeah, you was just talking about that shit before you came.
I was one of the first. I was one of the first. We joke about that a lot. Like I'll be with Benny, and Benny always be like, "Yo, Sky, you the Oracle, bro. Like you was the first one. Nobody cared. Like nobody was coming to Buffalo to rock. Nobody was." You know what I mean? Nobody was reaching back. Like if we was hitting heads, you know, like it was, you know what I mean? People wanted to play games, but you was always with it. You was always with it. You know, he's always like, yo, you the Oracle, bro. Like you saw it first. You know what I mean? So it's love. Those my brothers. You know what I mean? Those my guys. I'm super happy for everything they got going on. And you know, you see how they taking over the world. And they're just even outside of the music, they're just awesome dudes. You know what I mean? So we hang outside of music. You know, those are my guys.
Yo, the growth from those guys is
phenomenal.
Like we was just talking about, like, I'm happy with rap right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Like I see the dudes that's supposed to be winning, and you know what I mean? They're young. And I seen their entire grind, man. You know what I mean? So it's like,
yeah.
I support
it's giving balance. You know what I mean? It's giving balance. You know, my thing with hip hop is I get asked this a lot, you know, we don't need it to be one way. You know what I mean? Like if I go to a club, you know, I go to a club or whatever with my peoples or whatever it may be. I don't want to hear, you know, certain types of hip hop. I want to hear a different type of hip hop because it's for that moment. You know, that's like wanting to play, you know, a slow jam in the club because you want everything in life to be a slow jam, or you want to get married to an up-tempo fast song while you and your wife walking down the aisle because you love fast music. Like, nah, there's moments for everything. So in hip hop, all these different subgenres of hip hop need to coexist. You know, like if you're in a strip club, you want to hear this type of record. But then if you're taking a long drive, you got a road trip for 2 hours, or you know, you in the crib vibing or whatever it is, then you want to put on my shit. You know what I mean? Because you want to think and you want to relate. I always tell people, music, no matter what genre it is, music, but especially hip hop, is two things. You either relate to it or you escape to it. It's that simple. You know what I mean? You relate to it or you escape to it. So you got guys like Migos and Future and Ross and all those guys, and you escape to that music. You know what I mean? Whether people are fans of that or not, that's the stuff you want to hear in the club. You know what I mean? You go to the club, you want to hear that type of stuff because it brings a certain energy. So you escape to that. You was working all week. You got your paycheck from your job that you don't even like, but you got your paycheck, and now you want to get some stress off. So you go to the club and you hear BMF and you hear all those records and you want to pretend you that. So you escape to it because it feels good to just let loose.
Right.
Then when you come back down to reality on Monday, you relate to somebody like me. You relate to somebody
when you're on the train to work.
Cole, Lupe, you relate to us, you know what I mean? And you escape or relate, one of the two.
All right, I got a question for you. And this cat is one of my favorite artists of all time, man. And can you speak on your relationship with, you know, God Bless the Dead? One of my favorite niggas ever, yo, Stack Bundles.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Stack was a beast, ahead of his time, man. Rest in peace, Stack. That was my man since we was like 18, maybe 17, 18, something like that. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like that was my guy, man. We was in a crew together called the Grits, the greatest rappers in the streets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, it just it just froze like right there, man. That just
Oh
no, we good now. It just
y'all editing this, or because we could, if you want me to go back into that question again.
Go ahead, bro.
Okay, go ahead.
Live. Okay, word. Yeah, so we was in a crew together. It was like 7 or 8 of us called the Grits, the greatest rappers in the streets. And we was young, 18, hungry, 10 people up. You know what I mean? Like it was like we was a little like mini Wu-Tang. You know what I mean? Because it was so many of us. It was we in a circle on Jamaica Ave in Southside Queens, and you got this one, then you got this one, and you got me, then you got this one, and you got Bundles, and you got this. And it was like, yo, like, how do I get out of this? Like, you know what I mean? If you was in a circle with us, it was like there's no getting out of that. It was too many monsters. And so that was how we met, you know what I mean? And then we all grew up and started doing different things musically.
Yeah.
But you know, Bundle started to take off and went crazy. And you know, he definitely was ahead of his time with a lot of things, with the music and the fashion and all that. And as you see it now, there's a whole wave of you know, of a generation that feels like they was raised on Bundles and just mixtape stuff, freestyles and cool stuff, and that's the beauty of it, you know.
Like, yo, he definitely, you know, like the time was short. Like he still ended up making an impact. Like, yo, he created
100%, 100%.
He created an anthem that made history, yo. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? 100%.
He created an anthem that made history. Like he got on, like when he got it, like it just ended too soon, man. But like, I was so happy to see Stack start winning, man. Like,
yeah.
That
100%.
One of my favorites, yo, ever. Like he one of them, like it was just too soon. Like, he's one of them ones. Like he was gonna be one of them niggas, bro.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah. Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, it was right there.
Absolutely.
Who else was in Grits though?
Oh man, it was me, Bundles, my man Tay, Valentino, Shan the Hoodlum, Marty, Domination. Domination actually wound up doing a lot of work with G Unit and Smurf and all them.
Okay, yeah, I know you're talking about.
Everybody. Yeah, I think that's everybody. There's so many of us. Yeah, that was everybody. But it was about 7 or 8 of us.
That's pretty dope.
You battle you got any like notable like street battles? And you battle anybody with names?
Nah, not really. You know, I always, when I was growing up, you know, I battled in school. You know, you battle in high school, you battle in, you know, in college, you battle on the corners and neighborhoods and stuff like that. And I always would go crazy wherever I went. But my thing, I always was about making records and wanting to tell stories and do all those things. But I always had that in me where I could, you know what I mean, without a doubt. You know what I mean? Obviously, big stuff and all that, you know, but with the 106 and Park thing, which was like 20 years ago now. But, you know, I was a battle MC in the sense of being able to do it, because I think when you first start out, you got to be, well, at least in our generation, you had to have those chops, right? It's like you can't get in the league without at least having a jumper. You know what I mean? Like, and everything, or at least having some sort of a handle, at least being able to dribble the ball. Like, it's the same thing. So, you know, in our era, in our generation, if you was coming up, it wasn't about, you know, I think these kids nowadays, as soon as they decide to start rapping, it's how many followers and what type of video we can make to go viral and what type of record we can make for a TikTok video. Whereas in our generation, if you decide to start rapping today, the first thing you had to do was write verses to show you was nice. You know what I mean? And then from there, you started writing songs and you started developing other sides of the craft and all that. And then all that other stuff came. So it's kind of reversed now. These kids don't really care about that, but you had to be ready. So for me, I was always ready when it came to that. You know, I was the kid that had 100 verses in the stash. I had 100 verses in my head. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I think I said on Retropolitan, I had 100 verses. I had 116s and I forgot them. I had, what I said? I had 116s, but how my block was a 16. I needed room, so I forgot those. I forgot exactly how I said it, but just saying, like, I always had all types of work on deck. You know what I mean? When I was a kid. So, yeah.
Speaking of Retropolitan, yo, what was it like doing an entire joint with Pete Rock?
I was amazing. I mean, that's an honor of all honors. You know what I mean? It's Pete Rock. You know, like arguably one of the greatest hip hop producers ever, top 3 easily, like in his sleep. You know what I mean? Like easily. Pete's amazing, awesome dude, great chemistry. Never had no like, I want to do it this way. Well, I want to do it that way. Like we didn't really have none of that. It was we just worked and we did it in person. It wasn't no email or nothing like that. We did it in the studio together. We did the whole joint A to Z in 11 days. It was about 11 days.
That's great. It felt organic though. Like that in the ending from the album felt like
thank you. Yeah. You know the thing about me when I write on the spot.
Okay.
So when I say 11 days, I recorded all those records in 11 days.
Wow.
You know what I mean? A lot of times people will say that because they had verses at the crib and they wrote months and months and they had old stuff they were sitting on and then they came and recorded in 11. No. Like Peter tell you, like, oh nah, Sky wrote all them rhymes in front of me. You know what I mean? Like we would go to the lab, I sit down and just start going. You know, like that's the way I work. I write on the spot. You know, I don't write on the tour bus. I don't write at home. I don't write on a plane. I write in the lab on the spot. So any record, I was sitting there, I wrote it, and I walked in. Just like Easy Truth, I did that in 9 days. You know, and I got a funny story about that when we get to that. But with Retropolitan, we did it in 11 days, and it was dope. You know, Pete had me come to his crib. I picked out like 60 beats. And then 60, you chop
that's
it.
That's fucking dope that you can go to Pete Rock's.
Yeah,
that's amazing. It's amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's amazing. So you know, you sit there and you pick out a bunch of beats, and then as an artist, you chop it down, and you chop it down, and you chop. So you got 60, then you turn that into 40, then you turn that into 20, and it, you know, like you just start going through them in your head, which ones are the definites, and you know that's how that went, and we wound up with I think 12 joints on the album. And we knocked it out, man. I love that record. You know what I mean? It's a super duper New York record. It's just a New York hip hop record with all of these undertones of like storytelling and all these different moments, but it's still got its spitter moments too while being storytelling. You know, Eastern Conference All-Stars and Carry the Tradition and, you know, all these joints, you know what I mean? So I love that record.
I love that record. Styles my dude too. Like that's my
when I seen that, man, I lost my fucking mind.
I'm a Styles speed guy.
As soon as I seen that shit had Styles on there, I thought about you too, Ron.
Yeah, I'm a Styles P guy, man. Like that's
Nice.
my
Nice. Yeah, Styles is a legend, man. That's the second joint we did, because we did a joint on Live from the Tape Deck as well. So Styles my man. He came in, blacked out on that. You know, that's my man.
word.
We got a chance to interview Pete Rock too.
Yeah, we
That
had Pete
was
Rock on the
fucking dope.
joint, man.
Nice.
Bye.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really
great
down to
dude.
earth, humble
Great
guy.
guy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, what was I about to say? So has there ever been a point where you went to the studio, you did a feature with a couple of people, and you came home and you like, man, I so and so got me today.
Nah. You know what I mean? Keep it a buck. Nah. But you know what it is? For one, that's the competitive spirit in me. And two, it doesn't mean like anybody I was on a record with didn't get busy. Like I got tons of records where heads got busy. You know, all the Griselda stuff, they all got busy. You know, me and Torre did Battle Brothers together. He got busy on every record. You know, every time me and Shot Stimuli collab, he get busy. Like I when I do records with people, man, if I like, yo, I reach out, yo, want to get you on a joint, it's somebody who I'm like, yo, he's for real with it. Like I'm a fan of what they do. Styles, Jada, Black Thought, Elzai, like as much as I'm who I am, I'm still a fan of these guys' work. Some of them are my peers, like Elzai and, you know, Griselda and all them. And then some of them are guys I grew up listening to, like Black Thought and Jada and Styles. So the competitive side is in me, but at the same time, if I put you on my record, it's because I really rock with you. Like Joel, you know, these are guys who I think are really great, you know. So it's always a blast getting on records with people like that because it brings the competitive nature out. But then I'm also excited to hear what they're gonna do because I'm still a fan of the music and I'm still a fan of lyricism. So I'm excited about what they're gonna bring to the table. I'm excited about what I'm gonna bring to the table when I start writing, and it all just comes together real good.
And you talk about all elite rappers, like it's
Right.
all
Right,
rappers.
right, absolutely.
Yeah, that's still sharp and still, bro. That's crazy.
Pen game is all ridiculous on everybody said. LZ don't get enough love either.
Elzai's fire, man.
Yeah, no, Elzai is super dope, man. Super dope. And we actually toured together. We actually toured together on for the Retropolitan album, you know, in 2019, like before COVID hit. We did 2 tours together. So it was dope, just, you know, building on the road every day. You on the road with somebody for a month, and then another month you get to know them really well. You know what I mean? So it was dope. Just building with Son and, you know, building that relationship and keeping that going. And he's super dope.
And you got a project you're getting ready to drop next month, correct?
Yeah, a couple weeks actually. June 11th, All the Brilliant Things. Super excited about that. And, you know, 2 singles out right now that are moving. And this one is a conceptual album where every record is, you know, all of my stuff is cohesive and one song holds hands with the next and they kind of lock in together and, you know, tell these stories. But this one, like literally every record is from A to Z. So like it starts with how my neighborhood used to be, and it ends with the way my neighborhood is now. And you see the whole transition and the trajectory and all that of the way it all is now. And it's just me telling the story of gentrification and cultural appropriation and culture vulturing and things like that. It's just something that I was I felt really strongly about. You know, it's something I feel really strongly about. And I just decided to take some time and really tap in on those topics and turn it into one story.
Let me ask you this, and my bad, wrong. But what do you think about Jay-Z's hand in the Nets arena being built?
I mean, he definitely was a part of it. You know, I mean, you saw him breaking the ground and all that back in the day when they first dug it up. And, you know, obviously they had him as a part owner of the team and, you know, all the marketing that he was able to provide for the arena and for the team and all that stuff, which is, I mean, as a rapper, man, a rapper from Marcy, from Bed-Stuy, like it's unheard of. So on that side, you got to give it up and clap your hands to that. You know, like that's unheard of for anybody to be able to pull all that off. But on the flip side, it did, you know, it did bring in a lot of what we're dealing with now in Brooklyn and in New York with gentrification, without a doubt. You know what I mean? Like there's pros and cons. That's life. You know, it had a humongous hand in that.
Yeah.
The way they did that shit, man, was a clinic on how to fuck up people and fuck people over.
Yeah, you know what, man? You know, my pops pointed that out way before. Like as soon as that thing was announced that was happening. And this may be like 04, 05 or so, you know, whatever it was. As soon as it was announced, my pops was on that. He was like, oh, Brooklyn's over.
Right.
And this was like 16, 17 years ago. He was like, Brooklyn's over. And I was like, yeah. And he was still living in New York. He's been in Atlanta for about 15 years now, but he was still in New York at the time. And he was like, Brooklyn's over, bro. And I was like, yeah, watch, just watch. And like 4 or 5 years later, it slowly started and it was like, yo, like, and now it's forget it. You know what I mean? Like, he was all over that though. He saw that a mile away.
Wow.
Yeah, they had a documentary on this shit. And oh boy, was it the Russian dude that bought the team at the time?
Yeah.
He literally took out a map and just circled some shit. And was like, this is where we're gonna put it. And they bought it, they strategically bought up all that land and just let it decay intentionally.
Right. That's the way they do it. It's that way the value gets low and you can just take that for whatever and then you can flip that. I would love to know the name of that documentary, man, if you remember it before we get off. I didn't know they did a documentary on the Nets and
man, it was crazy too, bro. It was like
I might need you to dig that name up for me before we go.
I'm gonna have to do that because I remember like it was a whole apartment building that didn't want to sell out.
Right.
And they waited, they held out as long as they could. It ended up being like one couple who ended up getting married as a result of fighting back against these motherfuckers was the last people to move out. Shit was crazy, bro.
Yeah.
If I remember it, and if it's not tonight, I'm sure I remember it.
Just email it to me, yeah. I'm interested in the actual, as somebody who lived in the area. I live in Atlanta now. As somebody who lived in the area when all that was going on, I saw it firsthand. But to see the behind the scenes of it with a documentary, I'm super interested in that, man. But yeah, like I said, you gotta, you gotta definitely give it up for a rapper who rhymed about moving weight in the street and the highs and lows and the pitfalls and what, a rapper who came from those from that world and that underworld even, who was able to grow into that. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. It just sucks what came with that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And how it had to be done because it changed everything. It changed people's lives. It changed the neighborhood. It changed our culture. It changed everything for the foreseeable future. It did a ton of I don't want to say damage, but it did a lot. It did a lot. You say damage, you feel like you're putting all that on Son's shoulders, but it did a lot. It did a lot. And I talk about it on the record, not about him and the Barclays specifically, but just gentrification, what it did, what it's still doing, what it's going to continue to do, and how it's spread out everywhere. The funny thing about it, when I dropped the first single, Bed-Stuy Burning, so many people that aren't from the style was hitting me like, yo, it's happening here too. It's happening here too. And that's why I said that on the record, like, please Philly, please Atlanta, please Detroit, please Chicago. That's why I said all that, because it's happening in so many other cities. People was hitting me in Berlin. People was hitting me in South Africa. People was hitting me in London. Like, yo, it's happening here too, man. It's happening here too. Thank you for talking about it. It's a worldwide thing.
Word.
Hey, excuse me 1 second, but this is my brother in the joint. I gotta take this call. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. Ron, go ahead, bro. I do apologize.
So I got a couple albums I want your opinion on. Just give them, rated them from a scale of 1 to 10. I do know how you feel about it. All right, so Reasonable Doubt on a scale of 1 to 10.
10 for sure.
Sure.
Absolutely.
All right. Capital Punishment.
Pun joint, yeah. Nah, it's up there for sure. I mean, I don't want to rate. I guess I don't know, because you say, yo, that's an 8, and people feel a way. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I got you.
I love Capital Punishment though. I'm going through all the records in my head. I love Capital Punishment. Definitely, easily an 8. Easily an 8.
That's an album, like, yo, everybody, like, niggas just stop talking about it, man. Like,
you think so? I think it gets the love.
I don't think
it may not be looked at as like Reasonable Doubt or Ready to Die, or whatever, but I mean, it definitely gets the love. People love Pun, as they should. Pun was great. Pun was one of the greatest. The way he was able to. I think what gets overlooked with Pun is when it comes to rhyming, there's like a technical aspect.
Right.
Pun was able to do things where someone his size shouldn't have been able to do.
Absolutely.
And people don't really put that into consideration when they think about him. Like, they think about the lyrics and how crazy he was, which he was. But
how he's saying it.
Yeah, being able to get in the middle, little did we know every little, the middle, like, that's hard if you're 300-400 pounds, man. Right. That's hard for people who 200 pounds. You know what I mean? Like, I could do that because I'm a rapper. I've been rapping my whole life, damn near. But like to be 350, 400 pounds, that in the middle, a little, did he know every little, the little man? That's what? Like to be able to pull that off at that weight with your breath and all that weight on your lungs and your heart, that's incredible. You know what I mean? So Pun was definitely one of them guys, man. Definitely one of them guys, without a doubt.
Yeah. The Score, the Fugees. Fugees The Score.
Dope album. For me, super dope album. I mean, Lauren was great, and you know, Fuji La, I mean, obviously Killing Them Softly. When I was a kid, I was very just hip hop.
Okay, I got you.
The record had some R&B stuff on it. It took me a while to get on it, unless it was an R&B record. If it was Mary J, My Life, Faith first album, 112, okay, cool. If it was hip hop, that's what we on. But the mingling of the two, because I think when that came out, I was about 13, 14, something like that. Right. So when that came out, you know, I looked at it differently because it was such a mixture. Right. You know what I mean? So it hit me later with that album. But it's a dope album.
So let me ask you this, right? So I got like a distinct opinion. Like, I'll argue that 50 Cent is like the GOAT of mixtapes, and I argue 50 Cent.
100%.
Yeah, I argue niggas up and down and shit all the time, man.
Nobody did it like Son.
Nobody. I argue that up and down all the time, and I'm like, yo, niggas don't even get 50 as flowers for the mixtapes, yo.
You know what's crazy? Because with Fifth, when they did that, and I was there to watch that almost firsthand, kind of from a little bit further away. But Cam actually did the first rapper mixtape where it was a rapper, because before that it was like DJ mixtapes, and then a rap, you have a couple freestyles. Clue, Envy, K Slay, you have a couple freestyles from different rappers and whatever. Cam was the first one to say, all right, it's our tape and it's all our stuff. And we're gonna have a DJ, K Slay or whoever it is, we're gonna have a DJ host it. And it's original songs and freestyles. Cam was the first one to do it. My man actually did the photo shoot and the cover for that. My man Chad. Cam was the first one to do that. But 50 was the one who popped it. You know what I mean? When Cam did it, New York was on it, but it didn't really go much further because I don't think people understood the dynamics of it.
Yeah.
Fifth came with this whole, like, just this whole different energy, and the way he was flipping other people's records was what.
And it was really like whole albums, though. Like, it was just like whole albums. And it was
Cam and them had original songs and then freestyles over other people's beats. 50 had original songs and freestyles over other people's beats, but he would flip the hooks and make it a whole song.
Right.
Verse, new hook, verse, new hook, verse, new hook. And it was like, yo, he just flipped Mobb Deep Bump That. He just flipped Raphael Sadiq, you know, used to be here. But he flipped it. He flipped Janelle, Round and Round We Go. Like, that's where he took it to another level. And let me tell you, man, like, and I feel like we from the same generation and the same age. Nobody did it like Son.
Yeah,
when that was happening, nothing was moving but that.
Yeah,
Wayne went ham on the mixtapes too, but I do want to apologize.
You know what I'm saying?
I want to apologize wholeheartedly though, but my brother locked up, man. So
no, it's all good. Mine is too, so I know how that go. You know what I mean? My younger brother locked up. I get them calls as well.
He popped it off, and then like everybody else followed. Then you had a Gucci, then you had a Wayne.
Right, then everybody did it. T.I., everybody did it, and that's fine. Nobody did it.
50 Cent the mixtape go, bro. Like,
yeah, nobody did it like G-Unit. Nobody did it like them. Like, it was insane. It was like, and I know we're supposed to be talking about my music, but I'm fine talking about, you know, if I'm going on a tangent, like whatever.
Hip hop, bro.
Yeah, it was like you had girls going to the mixtape spot with $5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was unheard of. Like, you had girls like, you know, fly chicks with, you know, with their heels and their Louis bag going to the mixtape spot, going to the Africans with $5 for the new 50 tape. Like, it was crazy. You know what I mean? Like, you never seen nothing like it before. It was incredible. Like, when Sun would drop, everything was shut down. It was wild, man. I remember when In the Club came out, and it's funny you mentioned Stack. Stack called me, and because everybody was waiting for what the single was gonna be from Fifth, because the mixtape game was crazy. He got signed, everything was crazy. Everybody was like, "What is the first joint gonna be?" And I remember Bundles called me and was like, "Yo, you heard the Fifth shit yet? You heard In the Club?" And I was like, "Nah, I didn't hear it." He was like, "Yo, you gotta go hear it and call me back." And I remember I heard it, and then I called back or whatever, and I was like, "Yo, it's crazy. It came out wild." You know what I'm saying? So. You know, yeah.
That's fire. That's fire.
And that wasn't the one that was one of the weaker songs to me. I would not have put that out as a single.
But you gotta think though, like
That's why I'm not
that's a universal single, yo. Like
Yeah, yeah.
you
No, I
missing,
love the
bro.
record. I mean, everybody wanted to know what it was going to be. He had such a radio presence and such a street presence. How was he going to marry the two for the world, not just for Jamaica Ave, but for the world? And he knocked it out the box. I mean, you know the story about how D12, that was a D12 beat, and then they passed or whatever, and Fifth grabbed it. But yeah, I mean, I remember him saying, what can I do to make the record something that lives forever? And that's why the birthday shit is at the beginning. He was like, yo, every day is somebody's birthday. So this record can get played every single day. You know what I mean? So if you listen, like the bridge, the Go Shorty, It's Your Birthday has nothing to do with the rest of the record. You know what I mean? Like that part and the hook have nothing to do with one another, but it works because it's a club record. And if it's your birthday, you celebrating your birthday in the club and whatever. So he finessed that, man. He figured that out. And I mean, he made history.
Yo, I'm not sure what happened, but your video just got like blurry
on my end.
Yeah, I
don't know. I'm good on mine. Everything look good on my side.
Yeah, you can.
So what's next? What's some? You got any like new features or new artists in mind that you got? Like yo, I got to do a joint with him.
Not really. I mean, I'm always open to I'm always open to working with new guys coming up or guys that I'm a fan of, because like I said, I'm a fan first when it comes to. I feel like when it comes to anything in the arts, anything creative, whether it's music, fashion, film, painting, whatever, literature, anything in the creative space, you got to be a fan first, because if you're not, the world will pass you by. You won't know what's moving, what's shaking, what the temperature is of everything going on in your field. You got to remain a fan. The moment you're not a fan anymore is the moment that you start losing your edge and losing what you have and what you bring to the table. So I'm a fan first, so I'm always down to, rock with people who I think are super dope. But on me, I'm just, gearing up for this album, man. I'm just gearing up for this album. June 11th coming out, all the brilliant things. No rap features. I felt like with the story I was trying to tell, only I could tell it. Unless you lived on my block. You know what I mean? Only I could tell it. You lived on my block, then maybe, but how could I have somebody from another city help tell his story when they wasn't on my block? They was on their block. So, but feature wise, I got Raheem Devon, my brother, man. This is like our 5th, 6th joint together. We always rocking, man.
That's my guy.
And he's a special individual, man. He's amazing. My brother Raheem Devon, BJ the Chicago Kid. Who else is on the record? A lot of newcomers, like this girl Aria, who's really, really dope. A good friend of mine. She gets super duper busy.
Yeah.
Another dope ass song too, by the way.
Huh?
That's a dope ass song too, by the way.
Thank you, St. James Liquors. Yeah, that's her on there. This girl Ceoline, who's super, super dope. She's another great artist who's a friend of mine who's coming up. Hypnotic Brass Ensemble, who I was very excited to get with. Them as a jazz hip hop band. And then it's just me telling the stories the whole way, and I'm excited about it. I'm excited for the people to hear it. It's the slowest album I've ever written, right? Like most of the time, like I was telling you, I do an album in a week and a half, 2 weeks. This album took a year and a half off and on. I had vocal cord surgery, so I couldn't talk for a month. COVID hit, so I cut down. I was working on milestones, and that was in between me working on this album. So, this album took like a year and a half. There was times where normally I write a record in like an hour. I'll sit and write a whole song A to Z, verse, hooks, bridge.
Are you serious, bro? An hour?
Without a doubt. I could easily write a record in an hour. I write 16. If I'm just doing a 16, I write 16 in 20 minutes, so my process is really fast. And that's not to flex. It's just a blessing, God gave me that. My process is really fast. So, but with this album, I would take like 4 or 5 hours to write one song, and it was the first time in my career I'd ever done that. I would sit there and the beat would be playing for like 6 hours, and I'm just sitting there just writing, and then I'm reading what I wrote, And then I'm just sitting there thinking about everything I wrote. Okay, I said this. Now, how are they going to interpret that? If they interpret it this way, what does that do for the rest of the story? How does that impact the rest of the record? If I put the fourth bar where the eighth bar is, how does that change the whole trajectory of the record? How about I put the 12th bar where the second bar? Like, I was doing a lot of that, and so it made the album roll out a lot slower. But I love it. It came out incredible. I love every moment of this album, like all of my albums. It's like your kids. But, this album is really, really special, and I'm just excited for people to hear it.
Word. I can't wait.
Yeah. Thank you.
I can't wait.
Yo, and shout out to the plug, man. I know you got to go, man. Got to pick up your daughter, man. Shout out to her.
Yeah, that's a fact.
We'll holler at you in a minute.
Yeah, appreciate you. Yo, follow me on IG, everybody. Yo, @strivingforperfection _43. Yo, big salute to Skyzoo for coming through, brother. Yo, we appreciate you.
Nah, thank you for having me, man. Thank you for the time. I'm glad we was able to kick it and vibe and all that, man. And when the album drop, press play and just vibe with it. And I'm sure you're gonna have a lot of things you want to break down. You know what I mean? So
we're gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
100%. Yo, and real quick though, Skyzoo, do you have a personal favorite 16 from anybody?
Oh, that's a cool question. I never got asked that. Oh my gosh. Wow. It would have to be some. I mean, if I could pick a handful, definitely something from Jada.
Jada really don't have a whack verse, bro.
Yeah, Jada's like amazing. Jada's amazing.
Yeah.
Every time I talk to Jada, I'm like, bro, you a superhero.
Yeah.
I tell him that every time we talk, just because I feel like he deserves to know.
I don't feel like we can have an honest conversation about Jada then. I can't.
Oh, God.
Nah, Jada's incredible. Jada helped raise me when it comes to the music, man. The same way I can mention all them guys I mentioned, man. When I was in high school, you couldn't say nothing about Jada. Like, I said it on a record. I said, thought Jada Kiss was Jesus. I just wanted to be the Locks. Like, I really thought, I was like, yo, that guy's everything. Be like, when Jada came out on the Clue tapes, I was like, this guy's everything. Like, what? Like, and the world would stop. Like, yo, new Jada.
When he's in his bag, he's ridiculous.
Huh?
When he's in his bag, he is phenomenal.
No, Jada's fantastic, man. It would have to be something from Jada. Obviously, you could take a Nas verse, especially early Nas. You could take, pretty much anything Jay does for the most part. If you're talking about just 16s that you drop in here and there. Well, that's a wild question, man. I never got asked that. Nas, verbal intercourse.
Crazy.
Verbal intercourse. Through the lights, cameras, the national glamour, this goal, gold, playing seeds to stampede the globe when I'm deceased. My inner beast rise like geese to conquer peace, leaving savages to roam in the street, live on the run. Police paying me to give him my gun, trick my wisdom with the system that imprisoned my son, smoke a gold leaf, a whole heat. I know all, you know what I mean? Like, that verbal intercourse Nas verse is everything.
Oh, that is crazy, right?
That's everything.
Yo, you did a group song. I can't remember the name of it. It was like everybody had their own beat. Everybody had, in the same locale. And there was a dude on there, B-Boy Stance, that had
You talking about
I've heard in a long time too.
Yeah, nah, B-Boy is dope. He from Philly. Yeah, B-Boy super dope. You talking about the Cypher at the barbershop. Yep. Yeah.
Literally, I've heard a whack verse from almost everybody I can think of, but everything I heard of yours, like there's not your pen game is impeccable, bro.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. That means a lot, man. I take this serious. When I say stuff like, yo, I write fast and I could write 16 in 20 minutes, people may feel like, oh, so you just put together whatever and walk away. Nah, I don't. Even me writing in 20 minutes, I'm still going hard, like busting my ass going hard. Like, yo, like, how can I think of the most witty, creative, double entendre that fits this moment type of shit? Like, how can I do that? And I'm sitting in my head for 20 minutes doing it. And when I'm done, I hit the booth and black out. So I take this serious, because I feel like, for one, there's fans, people who live and die by hip hop, who live and die by lyricism or, all of that. Then two, there's people who, I feel like every day you make a new fan, no matter who you are. Jay-Z makes a new fan every day, somebody who didn't know him or wasn't a fan yesterday, but now they're a fan. Beyonce makes a new fan every day. No matter how large you are, you can gain a new fan every day. So it may be your first time hearing me. and you need to hear me dumb out. You need to hear me black out, you know. And for 3, I just love the culture of lyricism, as I call it. You know, I love the sport and the culture of lyricism, like real, true lyricism. I love it.
You know what's interesting about that is that like I was thoroughly shocked about the ghostwriting. Like you seem to be an MC's MC, and those are typically the same people that hate ghostwriting.
You think so?
I think so. Yes.
Well, you know, there's a lot of some of the elite MCs who ghostwrite. I mean, Royce and Sahai, and you know what I mean, who all ghostwrite. You know, myself, like it's a different thing. It's like for me with ghostwriting, it's like if you're an actor and they're saying, okay, you're gonna be in this new Marvel movie, you're gonna play, you know, whatever, you're gonna play this character. You know, all right, cool. You know, you play that character for 6 months while you shoot the movie, and then after that you go home and chill and you collect the checks. So that's what ghostwriting is, you know. If I go in a session with somebody and I write for them, all the Skyzoo double entendres and going crazy, all that stuff sits on the shelf for a little while I'm working
so you
on.
Can turn that off then.
Huh?
You can turn that off.
Yeah, 100%, definitely. Yeah,
that's even doper than being able to do it, to be quite honest, because I wouldn't be able to turn it off. You would know that I wrote the shit for somebody.
Right. That's the thing with me. I try to make sure you can't tell. A lot of times when people do it, you can tell who wrote it. You're like, oh, I know so-and-so wrote that because it sounds just like so-and-so. With me, you can't tell because I try to literally make it like a tailor-made suit where it only fit you.
So does it devalue the MC that purchases your services?
Nah. I try to lift them up. You know, I try to make it where if you hear them, you're like, yo, I never heard them rhyme like that before. They killed that. You know, like I try to assist and enhance the situation. You know what I mean? But
from a fan perspective, do you look at a rapper and when you find out that they've got a ghostwriter, like me and Rome go through this all the time about Drake.
Yeah, I think it depends on. I think it depends on the artist. I think if it's an artist who you don't expect to, like the guys who go out and call themselves the greatest ever, I'm the nicest ever, I'm the best ever. If you find out that guy had help, that's a letdown. But the guys who don't run around talking that, they just make great records and hit records, then, you know, you don't feel a way when you find out they had help. But if somebody's running around talking about they top 5 ever, top 10 ever and all that, and you find that out, that's when it's like, oh man, Santa Claus ain't real. Like that's when it gets kind of personal for people, and that's when the emotions get in it, man. But
can you be considered the GOAT? Let's say you don't talk about it, but it's a known fact that you got a ghostwriter. Can you? Nah,
you can't. You gotta write all your stuff. To be the GOAT or be one of the GOATs, you got 100% gotta write all your stuff, man. That goes without saying, man. Without a doubt. But man, this was love, man. I appreciate it.
My bad, I forgot.
Oh, no, you good. You good. It's all love. It's all love, man. We got to catch back up when the joint drop, and we can talk about all the content on it. You know what I'm saying? Because you heard it for a while, and you know, we'll be able to sit down.
Man, that would be a blessing and a half, bro. Whenever you want to, just let us know, man. This has been an honor and a privilege, man.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
And do your soul a favor. Go fuck with some Skyzoo.
Let's do it.
You know?
Peace and love, man.
If people want to get in touch with you, how they do that? If they want to,
Instagram Skyzoo the writer at Skyzoo the writer. That's the best way to hit me. You know, hit me on there. I get back to you, and yeah, I'm easy to build with. So let's build.
No doubt, and that's absolutely a fact too, man. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to the family. Don't forget to check out the website liberationmindedmedia.com. And yo, free my brother. Keep your head up, bro.
Mine too.
and free Zoo's brother too, man.
Word up.
Name, by the way. On that note, we out, man. Peace. Y'all have a good one.
Peace and love.